What is going on, crypto world? In today's video specifically, we're going to be doing something a little bit different than we normally do in our episodes. Normally on our channel, we do technical analysis on XRP, Bitcoin, and some of the other cryptocurrencies, including the S&P 500 as well. But in today's episode, we are switching things up. As you guys know, there are some popular crypto analysts out there. And in today's episode specifically, if you haven't already figured it out by the title, we are going to be reviewing one in specific. And if you can't tell by the background, we're going to be looking at the moon. Now, this isn't a video to cause, negative, attention to the YouTuber. It's more so just to figure out, is this technical analysis right? Is this a learning style and technique we can use? Looking at these other YouTubers, comparing and analyzing, comparing and contrasting his opinion on the market, and then comparing it to my opinion on the market. So without further ado, let's jump right into today's episode. All right, so for those of you who haven't heard of the moon, if you haven't Googled or YouTubed Bitcoin in any sort of approach on the search bar, then you should have heard by the moon by now. So specifically, the moon mainly focuses on Bitcoin related cryptocurrency videos. You can see right here just a whole slew of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin specific traded videos, and basically talking about just regular technical analysis. In today's video specifically, we're going to be looking at the most recent video, which is right here, Bitcoin historical pump within 20 weeks. And I am going to be giving you guys my feedback on this as to whether or not this is something we should be paying attention to, whether he has a better, overview than, technical analysis that I would do. Otherwise, let's dive right into this. All right, as you guys can see, I do have the video pulled up really quickly here, and I'm just looking through the video just to get a better analysis of what exactly is going on. You can see the moon. He's talking about how the yellow line is very important. Now we have the 101 weeks below it. The longest run ever was 121 weeks, where we were basically trading below this uptrend right here. He says very soon when Bitcoin breaks $20,000 and above this yellow line, the fireworks can start again. You can see every time he references that when the line crosses here, we seem to have a very bullish breakout to the upside every single time. The past two times to be exact, we have a beautiful bullish rally. Now he's referring to the fact that we have yet to approach that level, and when we do approach that level, there is primed for another bullish breakout. Now let's look at things here and kind of analyze things just off of what he has pulled up here. So notice as I zoom in, he's referring to this uptrend being a line that, if broken, will cause a bullish rally. Now notice where this uptrend relies. This is starting at $40,000. If we break through this yellow uptrend, it's above 40,000. There's no way now that $20,000 within a price of Bitcoin will allow us to break bullish. So once again, I'm starting to disagree slightly with the video. Not that it's necessarily a bad thing, but he's referring to breaking above this yellow line is important to see a bullish break, and a $20,000 break above that line is key. Now, $20,000 does not necessarily line up. I don't believe that a break above 20,000 will allow us to cause a bullish rally, as this is much lower than the current price that he has marked right here. Ultimately, I think if we did break this uptrend, sure, I do fully believe that we'll probably, see a bigger bullish correction to the upside in the next, couple of months after breaking through this uptrend. But the likelihood of us getting up to there is very, very, very slim. You have to consider $40,000 with Bitcoin. That's doubling the price of what Bitcoin is currently at its all-time high. $20,000 was the top resistance. Is it possible to double that? Sure. Is it likely? Slim to none. Also understand that if Bitcoin does decide to pretty much quadruple its price from $11,000 it's trading at now to $20,000 and then to $40,000, there's a very, very, very good chance that volume is going to trickle down into all the other altcoins and cryptocurrencies, and there's a good chance we're going to see XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Binance, Litecoin, all these other altcoins explode up in price. We'd most likely see XRP trading at, I'd say, above $2 or $3 easily if Bitcoin was to head above $40,000. So moving on from this, now jumping into the other parts of his video, you can see clearly what he's referring to right there, the 40,000. I now am going to extend our reach a little bit farther, as most of this video talks about that specific line. He's now looking at a few things on a Bitcoin chart right here. You can clearly see this is obviously great technical analysis. You can see what he's drawing out here, but here's my 2 cents on things and what you guys have to get a general understanding of when looking at technical analysis. So obviously this looks like great technical analysis. There's nothing wrong with this. This is a great assumption. This is a great consideration moving further into the market. But something you have to look at is, where is he valuing this price chart right here? So notice the candle wicks are fairly small, and he's got it pulled up on the 4-hour chart. So there's a reason why I don't necessarily like to trade on the 4-hour chart, and I prefer more of the daily to the weekly. 4-hour chart is extremely aggressive. This is an aggressive style of trading. This means you should pretty much be trading this throughout the day within maybe 2 or 3 days max. We're not trading this long term at all. I would honestly say below that too. I'd say within at most 1.5 days of trading. You put your money into this account and you're trading around and exchanging it on a 4-hour level. That's what you're graphing. You're most likely going to be moving within a daily style of trading, which is definitely more aggressive than the style that I teach here on my channel. Long term, if you guys have things to do in your day, you have another job, this is a hobby, you don't necessarily want to just focus in on the 4-hour, as it is extremely volatile. Things change very quickly, and it doesn't necessarily affect the coins long term. 4-hour moves are really nothing to be that focused in on. The fact that on this 4-hour move right now, we're looking at a very small sideways consolidation, which honestly is not that many days. This is probably over a 2 to 3 day period, if not that, probably just 2 days. You can see the consolidation right here that he's showing, and you can see that this sideways consolidation is pretty much just up in the air right here. And you can see what he's pretty much referring to is, he's referring to a correction to the downside, but at the same time, he's referring to a bullish break to the upside. You can see exactly what he's saying right here.
We will be creating a gap, whether it's up or down. If we make a big move now, we will get a big gap. Essentially, during the weekend, we use.
So what is he referring to? A big gap to the up or downside? I mean, that's fairly obvious to trend around with. It's what everyone says on cryptocurrency and YouTube analytics and analysis within the crypto space. Obviously, if we break below this bottom support, it's going to correct lower. It breaks below the price floor and we reverse lower. And then vice versa, if it breaks above his top support right here and breaks above the price ceiling, there's a good chance the price of crypto is obviously going to spiral higher, as the consolidation is pretty much coming to an end with his bottom support and his resistance up top. And then we break bullish to a higher level. But notice the amount of play within this coin is very small to none. Notice if you're going to actually buy in Bitcoin at the price it is now at $11,300, which is quite a lot of margin, and then wait for it to break up to the price that he's referring to at $11,007, there's really not that much margin. From 4 to 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's $300 made on an investment of over $11,000. Now, that's not necessarily something I prefer to trade around with. I personally use Bityard. Hopefully you guys know what Bityard is. If not, definitely make sure to watch my other videos. I've been using Bityard basically to trade around cryptocurrencies, not using that much margin. Instead of buying a whole Bitcoin, I can buy a third of it, a quarter of it, and actually capitalize off the movement by using a leverage trade style. Now, obviously there's more risk, but it's definitely easier to get invested with when you're only trading around with maybe $1,000 at most, or $400 at most. You can easily trade around with this. Not only does it have Bitcoin, but it has XRP, which I've been using all the time now to trade in my videos. So definitely make sure to check out Bityard. It is linked in the description. Highly recommend signing up to $50 of free sign-up bonus, and it does help support the channel. But now to jump back into the Moon's video, you can see he's pretty much referring to this short-term consolidation. So I don't see how this is even remotely close to the move above 20,000. Now, obviously, he's talking about a 20-week move. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. That's 5 months. 5 months he's referring to in this video, and he's looking at 4-hour charts. If we're going to reference a 20-week movement and a break to the upside, why in any way would you be looking at the 4-hour charts? This is more for short term, and this is more for basically getting a trade, a play-by-play in the small short-term correction, which is definitely a more aggressive play, and it's not necessarily something I would personally trade around in, especially for those beginner traders out there. You don't want to look at the 4-hour charts. It is way too emotionally setting, and it is something that can really mess up your accounts if you're not an advanced trader out there. Now, let's just look at the rest of his video.
We will get a big gap during weekends. I think that's the reason. Even then, if we break this 10.3K, then we should actually expect a move, but then we would have a gap. Earlier in this video, I talked about the fundamentals. Here is yet another.
So now he's talking about other fundamentals within the video. The fundamentals couldn't be stronger. Believe me, 20,000 will happen any week now. This is a referral that he actually posted on his thing. I think it is very hard for us to break through $20,000 in Bitcoin. It has, you have to consider where the market is right now and then where we were when 20,000 happened. $20,000 within Bitcoin happened when every channel you turned to in regards to news was talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Every big multimillionaire, billionaire was talking about Bitcoin and other altcoins. That is not happening right now. It's just not happening here. It is very unlikely to happen within his 5-month analysis. It is possible, but just highly unlikely. Nobody is referring to this right now. Everybody is fixated on the economy and the market and voting. It just isn't likely to see this big jump in price just yet. And then more so when you look at the S&P 500 and get a general understanding, we're having a clear double top on this top resistance that has been drawn out for 11 years within the price of, the S&P 500 ever since the 08-09 stock crash. Nobody is paying attention to this, but it is correlation and causation may be, involved here. That when we saw the, massive drop back in January or February and March, the same thing happened within altcoins. So the likelihood of seeing another correction as we are pretty much capped out at a high right now does show me that there's a possible chance we could see a correction back down to the moving average, basically influencing crypto to drop too. So the likelihood of us hitting 20,000 is slim, very slim, and I don't think it is actually that accurate. Now, I have huge respect for the Moon. He's doing a great job with his channel. Huge respect to him. But just in regards to what he's referring to with $20,000 happening any week now, I just don't see that happening anytime within crypto, especially Bitcoin. But if you guys are interested in more videos like this, I may start a new series, so definitely make sure to leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Otherwise, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.